What's up? What's up? What's popping? Hey, yo, it's NateDoggSac916 coming at you live from Sacramento. Hey, y'all know what to do, man. Go and hit that like, that subscribe, and that notification bell, man, if you want to keep catching this fire content, man. And if you guys got any questions, interview hopefuls, anything like that, man, go in the comments. Make the algorithm go up, man. Leave a comment. If you ain't saying nothing but, hey, what's popping? Put it in the comments, man. You can also get at me on Instagram at Nate.Dog916 and on email at AskNateDog916 @gmail. You can also get at Sandman on IG at Sandman2788. Excuse me, Sandman, for the mistake. But today, without further ado, man, what they call you? Where you from,
What's good, everybody? Y'all already know, man. I'm Klown Lok. This is Lok'd Out TV in the building. Kicking it with the homie NateDoggSac916.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, you know,
sir.
This one's been coming your way for a long time. It's been held off about a year now.
Yeah.
We in here. We are in the building.
It's all right.
You know,
I appreciate
y'all know where to find me, hopefully.
Yeah. So for those of y'all who don't know, I'm sure y'all know, I did an interview on Bro Channel already. And we due to logistics, we held out and we waited to do this interview, man. For whatever reason we did, we here. So
Right.
For those of y'all who don't know about Bro and who don't know about you, man, Lok'd Out TV, but where you from, homie?
I come from a city called Dalton, Georgia. So, you know, I'm out here in the dirty, dirty South.
Yes, sir.
For anyone that don't know, man, I'm a Southsider from Georgia. Northwest Georgia to be exact, 706 in the building. And you know, we're doing this thing nationwide.
For those who don't know the difference, you're not from the south side of town. You are a Sureño, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm not just from the south side of town. I'm a Southsider.
Right. Su 13. That's right.
Su 13. Okay, for sure. Let's get it clear so everybody understand, right?
Right.
So I mean, I don't really know not much about Georgia, man. But how was it for Klown Lok growing up as a kid in Georgia, like the childhood? Well, tell us a little bit about that, man.
Okay, well, shit. I grew up in like a Hispanic. You know, my mother's white. I never knew my father, right? So I grew up. My stepdad, he was from Venezuela. I grew up with him from like a baby to about 12 years old.
Right.
So I grew up in a mixed home. The street I grew up on, you know, all Mexicans, you know. All my little homies was Mexicans, you know, and I grew up in the Hispanic community my whole life. To this day, I'm still a part of the Hispanic community. Shit ain't changed. Back when I was growing up, though, the difference between now and then was things was really racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, like these country boys was going crazy over here because, you know, they was kind of on that. They're coming over here taking our jobs, shit. Because over here
they were racist towards the Hispanic community.
Right, man. It was terrible. And no, we got carpet mills like what carpet mill. A lot of people don't understand what a carpet mill is when I tell them that, but it's manufacturing. You know what I'm saying? We manufacture carpet.
Oh, carpet mill. Okay, like a place where you manufacture carpets.
Right.
Okay.
And
right.
So, you know, people was coming over from other countries, coming from California, Texas, all these places that back in the 90s was going damn crazy.
Right.
And they was coming over here for a better life. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so they was dealing with a lot of racism. And I watched my dad, man, get in so many fights in the middle of like at red lights and shit just because someone would decide to call him a wetback or call him a beaner or, you know. But this will also follow me because I would go to school and I have to get down with the white boys. You know what I'm saying? Because they was mad at me for having my father and being and hanging out with the Hispanic kids at school. And so, you know, I got called Mexican wannabe and beaner wannabe and, you know, all kinds of creative little names and shit. But it was an everyday thing, man. And so I kind of grew up in that situation. Okay. And then, you know, my dad died when I was 12. He died. He had parasites. He ate some bad meat. Parasites went to his brain and killed him.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Right. So
sorry to hear that. But,
yeah, man. So about 12 years old when I started getting into the streets. Okay. You know, right before he died is when I started getting into the streets. But after he died, when I really got in the streets, you know, I just kind of went that way.
If you don't mind me asking, okay, so he died when you was 12. How old are you now?
I'm 37.
37. Okay, so I'm just trying to get the generational get down so I can figure, you know, how things were in Georgia at this time. So you out there, you hanging out with your homeboys, your friends, really the people you just kick it with. What made it go from that to being an actual gang member? Or was there a transition?
There was a transition, man, because you know I was just a kid. To me, this was normal.
Right.
You know, it was. I didn't never felt out of place. You know, to this day I don't feel out of place. But you know what it was is when you start going to school, especially like when you hit middle school. Like my dad used to tell me. I remember before he died, I ended up beating this kid up really bad at school, 5th grade. Ended up getting kicked out of school and caught my first little case and you know all that. And he was telling me like, look, you gotta. I don't know what's going on with you, but you gotta chill. But back then, that's when all the gangs started forming around here because of all the racial tension. You know, it was more.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you go ahead and break it down because my mind's going somewhere else. But you say so because of the racial tension, this is one of the reasons why the gangs started forming.
Right, exactly, because people was migrating over here, but their kids was already gang members from Cali, Texas.
Oh, okay, yeah. People were coming there for work from other states.
Right.
Okay, right.
And so, we got a gang over here called Su 13, and that's the name of it, Su 13.
Oh, Su 13 is the gang.
Yeah, that's the name of it. Shout out to all the homies.
13, right?
Su 13. Yeah, South 13.
Okay.
And it's kind of the same concept as in the pen. You know what I'm saying? They come from all different areas.
Right.
And instead of forming this hood or that hood or that hood, they just came together.
Right. And so everybody in the district was just rocking together under one umbrella.
Right.
Okay.
And, yeah, and that's kind of what it formed. That was one of the earlier ones, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you had another one called Winos 13, you know what I'm saying? Tiny Winos 13. They came from Cali.
Okay.
And
so they were so they were considered like, is there like the big winos are in Cali and then they consider themselves the tiny winos, like the little homies that are ones in Cali?
Right. Yeah, they call it, which nowadays they call themselves winos. They don't call themselves tiny winos no more. They are the winos, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, back then, you know, then they had different factions. You had little tiny winos, you know what I'm saying?
So did every faction or group, even the Su 13, the original, the first one that started out there, did all of those individuals come from California first and then start out there? Or
no, we had some homies from Texas.
Okay.
We even had some homies from Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then Cali, you know, and they just that's the thing about it. They just didn't want to form. Well, they're like, well, I want to form my hood. Nah, man, you know, because I'm from here. I'm not going to drop mine.
Right.
So they just came together, bro, under one umbrella because they had to defend themselves against what was going on.
Yeah, somebody had to. I get that. Somebody had to stand up. Yeah. So, okay, so a minute ago you said that you beat up a kid and you caught your first juvenile case, though.
Right.
Before I asked the question, I was going to ask about the gang. What was that like going to the juvenile for the first time? What was your mindset?
I was excited, really.
Oh yeah.
I was kind of excited because I was I was looking at the older. See, over here we really didn't have back then. We didn't have older homies.
Okay.
But we had older kids.
Like, right.
And to like.
Oh yeah, forget you guys all pretty much started it, so there was no G homies.
There was none. So for me, the older kids, I was in elementary at that time. So the ones up in the higher levels of middle school and, you know, kind of high school,
right?
That's who I looked up to.
Right.
They was doing it.
Right.
So I'm like, you know, I'm finally here, type. You know, yeah,
absolutely.
I'm here.
Absolutely.
They know I'll do it now. They know I'm down for it. And
like, so, they go to little homie. That's the little homie. Right,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. They know that white boy's with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
so, go ahead.
So when I went to middle school,
I
kind of had a name for myself. When I finally went to middle school, 6th grade year, age 13, turned 13, whatever, I had kind of like already had a name for myself because of that situation.
Okay. All right. So, so you're first generation Sureño in your area or second generation?
First generation.
Okay, first generation. So I know this is going to sound like a dumb question, but there are no dumb questions, just people not dumb that are too dumb to ask them. So being first generation, there's no way you had to be jumped into anything because you're first generation, right? Or did you guys still have to, you know, put in work or be jumped in or whatever?
Yeah, we got jumped in.
Oh, okay.
And back, you know, back there was no putting no work or nothing like that. You got jumped in, but
Okay.
you know, I'm also a first generation Southside local. So
okay.
Right. So you had Suit Threadset, you had Winos Threadset, you had Fifth Avenues, you had these main ones, and then boom. What happened was I originally claimed Tiny Winos.
Okay.
But they kind of turned their back on me when a situation happened, right? And one of the older ones that I looked up to was like, you can't be down with us because you're a white boy.
Oh, wow.
Right. And I had already got myself into all kinds of situations over this, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like, and even though all the homies wasn't on that level, it was probably mostly him and maybe a couple more.
Right.
I kind of felt like, but I looked up to him. So I felt like, you know what? If he ain't got my back, no one's got my back here.
Right. Right.
So I kind of cut off. And that's when I ran into the homies, See the Hood. I claimed from New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Right. So and that's when I ran into them. The homies from Southside Locals out in New Mexico moved over here. And their older brother, Creeper, shout out to Creeper.
Shout out Creeper.
He was the one that was just kind of like, you know what, y'all, because Sue Threadset wanted us to join. It was about 4 of us.
And they wanted the Southside Locals to click up?
Right, because at that time we wasn't Southside Locals. We was just 4 knuckleheads kicking.
Oh, okay. Oh, they wanted y'all to tap in with them.
Right, yeah. Right. And they was like, hey, come with us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are down. They already seen some of the stuff we did. Right. So they knew it was about the business.
Right.
And we was like, Creeper was like, nah, fool. He told the homie Hippie and Joker, and he was talking to us, and you know, Joker and Hippie was brothers.
Okay.
And,
shout out Hippie.
Like, yeah, man. Shout out to Hippie Loco and shout out to Joker Loco. You already know. So he was like, nah, man, y'all Southside Locals from Hobbs, homie. So if we're gonna do anything, we're gonna put the hood on here.
Oh, okay.
And then so the homie Spoker Lok, shout out to Spoker Lok. He was like, and you know what? Because his older brother, his brother-in-law was a Tiny Wino.
Okay.
Stu Threadset and Tiny Winos beefed hard. They hated each other.
Right. So he definitely didn't want to go join with the
No, he didn't want to. He told us, if y'all go with them, I got to cut away. You know what I'm saying? Right. And plus on top of that, there was like, you know, y'all ain't going to let them tell y'all what to do.
Right.
Y'all going to come over here and do the Southside Local thing.
Right. Of course.
Creeper, you know. So that's when the Southside Locals was basically born right there here in my city.
Oh, so y'all basically, they came and y'all clicked up together and started y'all own faction of the Southside Locals right there in Georgia.
Yeah.
You said Dalton County, right?
Dalton, Georgia.
Dalton. Okay.
The city of Dalton. Yeah.
Okay, city of Dalton. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Okay, so now let me ask you this, because this is a question that came into my head. So once you guys got established, I'm sure you guys started putting homies on and your hood started building and stuff like that. Did the cats that was you were Tiny Loco first, right?
Tiny Wino.
Tiny Wino, I'm sorry. So when did the Tiny Wino dude and the individuals that were part of the group that you were a part of, that first original faction, did they start looking at you like another way or a different way once you clicked up and started some new stuff?
We started beefing hard, homie.
Oh, y'all started beefing with them?
Oh, it went because it was like this. I had some animosity.
Yeah,
because I almost got killed. I also got beat to, well, not beat to death, obviously, but I almost got beat to death by some Crips. They got me with some brass knuckles.
Wow.
And it was about 4 of them, and they beat me in front of my mama. You know what I'm saying? Reconstructive surgery on my face and everything. So when they turned their back on me, I was like, you know what? I got some animosity towards these dudes. So I ain't gonna lie, man. We went around. We started hitting up their walls and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, we put ourselves out there, you know, and then you know, a couple of things went down, whatever. But yeah, man, we put ourselves out there and let them know we're here.
Yeah, we here and we not doing what y'all say we doing. We want to do.
Exactly. We're doing the Southside Local thing.
Okay.
Keeping it Lok'd Out, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, that's crazy because out here when I hear that, I think Crips, right? But I know it's a different areas got different get downs.
That's why I spell it with a K.
With a K, right? Yep. And I noticed that the first time too. So you out there, you juvenile, you rocking this Southside Local get down. Eventually you got into some stuff, right?
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
Eventually, as a juvenile. So are you going back and forth to juvenile, or was there any main incident that you remember as a juvenile that you got in trouble that you could share that you got into?
Yeah, you know, we was all in the mix, man. We was all kind of getting in trouble and YDC here and there. Over here we got YDC, you know.
Is that youth?
And
what's that? Youth what?
Youth detention center.
Okay.
And so yeah, you know, and a little bit of that here and there, and school suspensions. We used to go to school, man, and cause chaos at school. Just to fight, you know, just to do it. Go hit up the restrooms and let them know we're at school, you know, whatever. We're here.
So
yeah.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. You said that you did have to get jumped in, right?
Right.
So like, did you have to go? Okay, so I heard somebody talking. I was talking to somebody on the phone this morning, actually, and he said something about a DP. His homies surrounded the homie on the DP and he had to fight for 13 seconds. Is that kind of how the jump in session goes too?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But see, when I got jumped in, I actually got jumped in. Mine was a little different because I am a white boy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, let's make sure, you know, let's, and I was down with it. I wanted to show it, you know. I wanted to show, hey, I'll take this like that. You know what I mean?
Whatever you got,
so
let's go.
Whatever you got, let's do it. And you know, but yeah, it's basically the same get down. You know, we'll basically, you know, pick who does it or whatever and handle business.
Right. And for the record, like, you know, I no longer like to look at myself as a gang banger. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be a member of where I'm from for the rest of my life. That's not an option. But I got white homies, I got Mexican homies, I got black homies, I got homies from all different races. And I don't look, when it came to the gang, me personally, I never looked at nobody other than he repping for the gang, man. I don't give a fuck what color, excuse my language, but I don't care what color he is. If he putting it down, he putting it down. You know what I mean?
Right.
But so eventually a time came where you started getting into a grown man stuff.
Right.
And you committed a crime because you did a prison bid, right?
I did a couple of them, few of them.
Okay, so before you did your first prison, what did you get convicted for your first prison bid?
My very first prison bid, well, you know what? The first prison bid I did, it was a prison boot camp. Okay. But it was for a burglary charge.
Okay. So the second prison bid, what was the crime?
The second prison bid was a distribution of marijuana, possession of a firearm by convicted felon, and receiving stolen property.